It's Nolan. All right, y'all. So we're going to switch up the tempo today just a little bit, all right? Now, y'all know I talk about pop culture. I talk about music and entertainment. I talk about music business. But today we're going to get into a little bit about relationships, all right? And the topic is going to be knowing when it's time to leave a bad situation, right? Taking note and taking inventory of the person that you're spending all this time with, understanding their personality type, understanding the types of disagreements, arguments, insecurities, all of these different things, whatever. If the motherfucker crazy, all of these things, you got to notice them, take note of them, and understand when it's time to move on, right? Now, I'm not just going to sit here and offer unsolicited dating advice. That's not what I do on my channel, but we're going to use some content. Number one, from Ciara, because she had a new interview with Call Her Daddy where she talked about when she recognized it was time to leave Future, when it was time to move on, when she felt like she was wasting her time. She decided that she was not going to allow a man to waste her life. Then we also have a content creator, YouTuber by the name of Melli Monaco, or Melly Monaco, however you say her name. She was just on No Chill with Gil. That's Gilbert Arenas' former NBA player. She was on his channel last night. They had a conversation about dating, red flags and things like that. And she had a few things to say about men not recognizing when it's time to leave either, which I know is a pretty sensitive topic because there's a lot of men out there that are stuck in relationships or feel stuck in relationships or have been stuck in relationships with people that they were incompatible with, ended up having children with, and now you can't really break away from that situation, you know what I mean, the way you would have liked to. You can't wash your hands of it because you have children. In life, I mean, no matter what gender you are, this can happen to you, but I want to express both sides of the coin because I feel like it's an opportune time to do so with these new releases of content. So first, let's get into Ciara.
Around the time that you met Russell, you were going through a really public and what looked like painful breakup. And I think about like leaving a relationship is so hard to make that decision, especially I'm assuming when you have a child. How did you know for yourself it was time to leave?
Oh my goodness. When you know you're supposed to make a super defined decision in your life, you know it from like the head to your feet, from your feet to your head, and your soul and your body, you know it. And it's almost like your taste buds change. Right? You have a taste bud for a certain kind of thing, and then the taste buds just go. You got to sometimes also look in the mirror and reflect on yourself too, right? Like, okay, what are things that I could be doing differently in my life? Or, you know, what's a part of what I'm looking for a change, but what does that mean? So you have to kind of define everything about making changes in your life that are very critical. And, you know, I've talked about before, obviously, when you have a child, it's very important to me. Like now it's no time to play around. Like the whole like experimentation kind of phase is out the door. It's like I am now responsible for another life. Right? So what am I doing? Like how am I
And we've got another clip here, so just hold on, bear with me.
like it takes two.
Yeah.
You know, and like how are you showing up? Like you ain't showing up. So I ain't showing up either. I'm out. I'm cool. Like you ain't gonna exhaust me, because honestly you can lose yourself in those moments. Like I said, it's one of my greatest fears, and I've been there before. I'm looking at someone, I'm like, you ain't gonna waste my life. I'm sorry, like that's not an option.
So there we have it from Miss Ciara. As we know, she's dated a couple of ain't motherfuckers. Number one being Future, another one being Bow Wow in the past, and both of them I think ultimately were pretty much the same, you know, at different points in her life, but pretty much the same type of shit. She ended up having a child with Future. She signed up to be a stepmom to his children, his various children. And ultimately, the time that she spent with him was wasted. She was used for being a stepmom, like openly, happily, eagerly taking on that role. And ultimately, she didn't get what she needed out of that situation. However, she speaks on accountability. She speaks on decision making, critical thinking, actually evaluating where you stand and saying, hey, this is not aligning with my goals in life. This is not aligning with who I want to be, where I want to be, who I want to be with, the type of person I want to surround myself with in a lifestyle, you know what I mean, in a home. And I think a lot of people miss the mark sometimes with this critical decision making, right? Sometimes you may feel guilty. You allow guilt to allow you to overstay your welcome in a situation. Man or woman, right? If somebody is constantly berating you, not valuing you, treating you in a way that's less than, You got to understand when the cutoff is. You cannot allow that thing to continue. And like I say, man or woman, this is not a gender specific type of issue, because there's so many people on both sides of the spectrum that undergo and have to deal with this on a regular basis. I know I was in a situation with somebody who was kind of, mentally unstable, had a lot of different outbursts, went through a lot of manic episodes and stuff like that for a while, about 6-7 months. I dealt with it. I allowed myself to be empathetic and sympathetic to that person's issues. But at a certain point, it was abusive to myself to allow myself to keep going through it. And even when I decided to break it off, I was I was threatened with my life. You feel me? The person wanted to take me out for then making a decision to choose myself. But ultimately, I had to go through that because I knew if I don't get myself away from this person, I'm going to be in a bad space. I'm going to be not only in a bad space mentally, financially, emotionally, possibly physically, but I also understood that a lot of the things that I was trying to do with myself in my career, places I was trying to go as a musician, as an artist, as an independent artist at that, this person did not really want to see me succeed to my fullest, right? There was plenty of different situations where I would have a show and this person would be excited for me to have a show coming up until the day of. And all of a sudden they want to start an argument. They want to create some sort of drama around me having a show to perform at. And then creating this cycle of passive aggression, or all of a sudden you want to have a breakdown, a mental breakdown, like I did something to you. And it's like, where the fuck did this come from? Then try to position it like, I get insecure because you're going to be out meeting people and you might meet somebody. And I'm like, dog, ain't nobody even thinking about no shit like that. I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to expose my music and my talent to people. It's so many different ways that you can allow yourself to be manipulated, man. It's crazy. You know what I mean? I had to call out of work at times to go to their job, to aid them, to get them through an episode. It's extremely exhaustive. You know what I'm saying? Turns out that she had bipolar disorder, manic episodes. Her mother wanted her to be on medication. She refused to take medication. Therefore, she had moments where she would lose control. And again, I had to make the decision to say, you know what? I don't hate you. I don't dislike you, but this is not for me. You know what I mean? Maybe this is a task for a stronger person. I feel like I'm strong in certain regards, but this here is not my strong point. You're going to have to figure it out. And some people may say that you're wrong for pulling away in those moments. I'll take that. Now let's get into Miss Melli Monaco. Okay, she spoke on something similar, and she spoke on men taking accountability for the same thing. She was speaking to Gilbert Arenas about the fact that he had 4 children with somebody who he claims he doesn't like, somebody that he knew wasn't for him, somebody that he understood was not in alignment with him, but for whatever reason, he continued to have children. He continued to stay, right? So let's get into what she had to say about that.
No, the red flag is having 4 kids with the same woman that you don't like. That's a red flag.
Why is that a red flag? Can you explain that? That seems like loyalty.
That's not loyalty. To me, that comes off as dumb. Yep.
So that wouldn't be loyal, that they're
No.
willing to stick it out. And
No, that's not loyal. Like, I believe you got to enjoy your life. I can understand staying for the kid, but it should have been 1 kid. Like, let's say she got pregnant, however she got pregnant, you're together, not together, on the break, whatever. And, but then her personality by then, right? And then the fact that you decide to stay with her, I'm like, I commend you for that. Yes, I'm going to stay until my kid is grown, and then we can separate. But having more kids with her when you felt like a character wasn't right for you, to me, that's a red flag, because I'm like, why you kept on having kids?
so can we flip that?
Tell me.
Right? If it's a woman who had 4 kids by this dude that's, right, we know he ain't shit. Right?
That's a red flag too. I'm like, why are you keeping on having?
But everybody would say because she was a loyal woman. right? And she tried to make it work, and she tried to make it stick.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't say that.
Oh.
The only thing I would say is, stay with the man to raise the kid, maybe, but not have more.
So what makes that a red flag? So it's dumb.
To me, it's dumb to. Okay, before I talk, because I've seen you talk about her. So, did you like her? Did you think she had a good character?
When we first met, she was fun.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Eventually, you found out. When did you find out her character was foul?
3 weeks.
So 3 weeks, and you still went and had one kid with her, at least one.
It's a man.
Oh man, and not Gilbert getting ready to say it's a man thing. Oh man, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that, brother. Accept accountability. That's the main thing, you know. And I like Gilbert Arenas a lot. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, Agent Zero, the basketball player, I rock with Gil. When it comes to Gil's Arena, the sports show, A1 since day one. You know what I'm saying? His unbridled sports opinion, him just being unfiltered about what goes on in the league, I'm with you. When it comes to Gilbert Arenas' personal life, that's where I jump off the boat. I don't give a fuck what he does, really. But I understand, and watching some of because I actually watched some of this show last night, I came to understand that Gil, he probably didn't have a lot of experience with women prior to becoming a basketball star. You know what I'm saying? Probably around the time he went to Arizona, because he was an under the radar athlete in high school, got to Arizona, started getting attention, became, you know, a high profile player, got drafted into the league at a low position, became a franchise player a couple years into his career, started meeting women. And it kind of reflects in his conversation, number one, with women and around women. You get what I'm saying? His way of thinking is just skewed. You know what I'm saying? At this point in his life, I think he is not trying to commit to anybody, although he's trying to persuade Melly to like go out on dates with him on the show. He says he has like 30 women that he deals with. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there that would think that's a badge of honor. And if that's what you do, that's what you do, bro. I don't give a fuck. I do think at a certain point when you want to have a more stable home, you know what I'm saying? You want somebody that is going to be down for you, loyal for you, day in and day out, and you want to do the same for them. It requires you to level up in your mental space. It requires you to level up in a lot of different ways that it seems like Gil is not ready to do. So when they talk about his former relationship with his baby mom, where they had 4 children in the relationship, but he badgers her, he hates her, she allegedly hates him, y'all could have done yourselves and each other immense favors way back earlier in the game before y'all decided to have 4 kids together. If by the first child you understood that this person wasn't really for you, you know what I'm saying, that the character wasn't aligning, how did you end up having a child? All right, maybe y'all went through with it, say it was a mistake, y'all slipped up, and it's like, all right, we're going to take care of this child. How did you have 3 more? He says that it typically will be called being loyal. He says when you flip the situation, women get called loyal women for staying with a man that she knows ain't shit and ends up having more kids with him and being around for more years. This is something that I've always kind of held to myself, you know what I mean, kept close to the vest. People that I've talked to in life, you know, I've spoken to them about it and I've gotten hung up on the phone. And it's like, yo, why? Why would you continue to do that? Why are you allowing yourself to stay in a situation that's not befitting of you? Right? It's not befitting of your children in the household where it's dysfunctional. You're not doing them any favors, right? Bang! Get Vince Carter dunked on when you start holding somebody accountable for those types of decisions, right? Same thing applies to men. You allow somebody to be with you all this time you're with them. You don't have to stay. A child is not a lifetime contract for y'all to be in love. It just means that y'all are supposed to take care of that child. Y'all are supposed to prioritize that child because y'all came together and created this beautiful life. They didn't ask to be here, but now they're your responsibility. It does not mean y'all got to continue to live together forever. It does not mean that y'all have to remain married or remain in a relationship or try to work it out. Sometimes it's not able to be worked out. And the sooner that you can come to that resolution and understand that, the better for you, the better for your children, and the better for your mental sanity. So yes, accountability, right? And it's not always about holding the other person accountable, blaming the other person, saying they were this, they were that, they did this, they did that. Because at a certain point, you have to stop subjecting yourself to that treatment. You have to break away. If you got to go to another country, if you got to move across the country, move to the next state, move out this motherfucker house who's taking care of you, you got to make some decisions. You got to get some gumption about yourself, get some hustle about yourself, and make some shit shake, right? If you say, man, I'm finna move out on the motherfucking street for the next 6 weeks until I get my shit on my feet, till I can save up, you know what I'm saying? Sleep in a car, sleep in a hotel, whatever you got to do, man. Sometimes you got to make the hard decisions that are going to benefit you in the long run. It may be uncomfortable going through it, but discomfort often leads to bigger wins. That's just my take on it. I'm not going to sit up here all day because I could sit here for hours and talk about this shit. But at the end of the day, man, just be conscious of what you're doing. Do your best not to just allow years of your life to pass you by being stuck on stupid with somebody, man. Because like she said, she feels like it's dumb rather than loyal. And a lot of times, that's what people get played out to be. It's dumb. And you disguise it as loyalty because you felt like, I'm going to stick in there. I'm going to try to see if you can improve. Man, fuck all that. I'm gonna see if you could be a better person for your next mate. I'm gonna hit the checkmate, okay? Y'all let me know what y'all think of this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates. I'll catch y'all on the next one, all right? Peace!
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble. New day, let's get it.